Uno. How to play. Deal 7 cards to each player. The object of the game is to be the first player to 500 points. The object of each round is to be the first person to play all the cards in your hand. After dealing, the dealer flips over the top card of the deck. Beginning clockwise from the dealer, players play 1 card each turn. A legal play is a card that either matches the color, number, word, or symbol, or it's a wild. After shuffling, if the first card flipped over by the dealer is a draw 4 wild, the card is placed back in the deck and another card is drawn. If it's a wild card, the player left of the dealer picks a color and plays. If it is a draw 2 card, the player left of the dealer draws 2 cards and skips their turn. If it's a reverse card, the dealer goes first. Some of the special cards are as follows. Skip, the next player forfeits their turn. Reverse, changes the direction of play. Draw 2, the next player draws 2 cards and forfeits their turn. Wild may be played on any color and allows you to pick a color that the next card played must follow. Draw 4 wild does the same thing as a wild, but in addition, the next player must draw 4 cards and forfeit their turn. However, a draw 4 wild may only be played when you don't have a card in your hand matching the color played. Wild cards represent no color until they are played. If you believe the player before you played his draw 4 illegally, the player drawing the 4 cards, and only that player, may challenge him. The player reveals his hand, and if the draw 4 was a legal play, then the challenger draws 2 additional penalty cards. If the player played illegally, then the draw 4 wild is returned to their hand. They play the correct card, and they draw 4 penalty cards. If you can't play, you draw 1 card. If that card can be played, you may play it immediately. Otherwise, your turn is forfeited. You may also choose not to play it on your turn, but instead draw a card. If that card can be played, you may immediately play that card, and only that card, or end your turn. When you get down to 1 card in your hand, you must call Uno, meaning 1. If you don't call Uno by the time your second to last card touches the discard pile, any other player may catch you on this. If they do, before the next player plays, you must draw 2 cards. If the round hasn't ended and the draw deck runs out of cards, shuffle the discard pile and it becomes the new draw deck. When a player plays the last card in their hand, the round ends. If that card is a draw card, you still fulfill the drawing. Points are then scored. The player who goes out receives points for every unplayed card in other players' hands. All cards 0 through 9 are worth face value. Draw 2, reverse, and skips are worth 20 points. Wilds and draw 4 wilds are worth 50 points. If a player makes a suggestion to any other player on what card to play, he must immediately draw 4 penalty cards. If a player doesn't have 500 or more points at the end of the round, reshuffle and deal and play again. The winner of each round becomes the next round's dealer. The first player to get at least 500 points wins.